Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome learners. Today we will be starting with the next unit of our macroeconomics course. The title of this unit is Inflation, Unemployment and Labour Markets. And the first lecture in this unit we will be talking about inflation, its concepts and types. Before starting with the lecture, let us see this interesting comic strip. Learners, what do we see in this strip? That there is a person who has a flat tire and is asking another rabbit, bunny rabbit, that I have a flat tire and can the bunny rabbit help him? What does the bunny rabbit says? He says, of course I'll do it, but for a price. So the person says, okay, I'm ready, but I pay for it. So he is mending his tire, bunny rabbit, and by mending the tire, he says that will be $1. So the person whose car tire was flat, he said, $1? It used to be only 50 cents. It used to be only half the price of what he's asking. So what does Bunny Rabbit has to say? He says, blame the increase on inflation. That is, he is telling him that it is the price rise, not me. Don't blame me. It is the price rise you should be blaming. So learners, that is what we will be discussing in today's lecture. Let us see the outline of this lecture. We will be understanding through this lecture the concept of inflation and what are its various types. Thereafter, we will also see the characteristics of inflation. Then we will learn about how inflation is measured. So let's move forward. What is inflation? If somebody asks you, this is one term which all of us keep on hearing in the news, in the TV, televisions. We read so much about it in the newspapers. We hear our parents cribbing about price rise. What exactly is inflation? We say inflation is a persistent and rise in the general price level. What is inflation? Inflation is a persistent and rise in the general price level. That is, overall price level of the economy is rising and it is rising persistently. That it is rising altogether. It is not a one-time rise and is stopping. It is continuously rising. That continuous rise in the general price level is defined as inflation. How has Crowther defined inflation? In very simple words, he has tried to explain what is inflation. According to Crowther, inflation is a state in which the value of money is falling, that is, prices are rising. Therefore, people crib about it. Why? Because the rise in prices, which is persistent rise in prices, is leading the value of money to fall. What do you mean by value of money? Value of money is basically how much can you purchase with that given amount of money. Let us take a simple example. Just we saw in the comic strip that person is saying, you used to charge 50 cents for this particular mending of this flat tire. Now you are asking me $1. This means that the value of that 50 cents has gone down. That is, what you could earlier buy with 50 cents, you cannot buy with it. So for example, again, closer home, we keep on hearing that the petrol prices are rising in India. Petrol used to be 70 rupees per litre. Now it is crossing around 100 rupees per litre. This means if you go to the petrol pump and say, this is 100 rupees, give me 1.5 litre of petrol. He says, no, I will not be able to give you 1.5 litre of petrol because the price of petrol is 100 rupees per litre. So earlier maybe with 100 rupees you could purchase 1.5 litre of petrol. But with the rise in price of oil, you are saying that now I can purchase less with the same amount of money. This means that the purchasing power of your money has fallen down. What is purchasing power of money? Is the value of money. How much can you purchase with the same amount of money? If it falls, we say it is inflation. Every rise in price reduces your value of money. Therefore, it is something which makes everyone worse off. Again, when we talk about inflation, we say this is a steady and upward movement in the level of price. Why steady and upward? Because in the first line itself we have said that inflation is persistent rise in the general price level. So a continuous, not a jerk price, it's a steady continuous rise in price and upward movement prices which decreases the purchasing power of money is defined as inflation. So because there is a persistent rise in price level, this reduces the value of money over a period of time. This is inflation. So what is inflation, my dear learners? Inflation is a steady rise in the price level is inflation. What inflation does? Let us see the characteristics. We are saying inflation is a process in which the price level rises and money loses value. We have just seen with this example that whenever the prices rise, the purchasing power of your money, the value of the money decreases. So it is that process which is price level increases and money loses its value. Second characteristics of inflation, we say it's fundamentally a monetary phenomenon. It is very common you hear that inflation is nothing but too much money chasing too few goods. That is, people have lots of money in their hands, but the supply of goods is not so to catch up with that demand, therefore prices rise. So it is essentially a monetary phenomena because it is the money supply change which is leading to inflation. Then we are saying that inflation, when you say characteristics, another very interesting characteristic and very important characteristic of inflation is that in inflation the average level of prices is rising. It is, what do you mean by average level of pricing? If we are counting a basket of goods, maybe for one particular product the prices has fallen, but on an average other goods the prices have increased. This would mean that average price level has increased. So inflation is the average level of prices is rising. Many times students say that no, this thing has become cheaper, then why you are saying inflation is there? Because whenever we count inflation, we are not taking the price of only one commodity or one service. We are taking the prices of basket of goods. So when the average basket becomes expensive, we say inflation is there. So the average level of prices is rising in inflation. That is the third characteristic. Then inflation is not just high prices, and inflation is not a jump in the price. That is, inflation is not a very high price is not inflation. That is, price of one good is very high, so it's not inflation. Similarly, inflation is not just one jump in price and then it remains constant. Inflation is a persistent rise in average price level of the goods and services. So that is where many laymen make mistake inflation with. Inflation always means that we are talking about the average prices of goods and services, and when their prices are increasing steadily, persistently, then we will count it as inflation. Otherwise, we will not count it as inflation. A one-time rise in price is not inflation. A jump in price just once is not inflation. Now let us see this, what we have said. This graph will make you understand it better. Inflation and the price level. This graph, if you see, we are taking years on the x-axis and price level on the y-axis. You are seeing that in 1990 the price was 100. The price remained constant till 1993. Then it jumped in 1993. Then again it remained constant for the subsequent years. So this one time rise in price in 1993 will not be termed as inflation. Why? Because this is one of the incidents. It is not a persistent rise in price. It is not a gradual rise in the price. It is just a one-time rise. So if you see a one-time rise in the price level, we will not take it as inflation. On the other hand, if you see in this second graph, we are seeing that from 1990 to 1995, the price level is going up, shown by this blue line, which is going upward. So this inflation is an ongoing process of rising price level. That is, we are saying inflation is basically a percentage change in price level during the given time period. From 1990, when the price was 100, price level went up to 110 in 1991. Then 120 in 1992. So there is a gradual increase in the price, let us say of 10% every year. So ongoing process of rising prices is inflation. It is very well differentiated in both the graphs. In the first graph, we see that there is only one jump in the price, hence it cannot be termed as inflation. Whereas in the second graph, right from 1990 to the next 5 years, we are seeing a rise in price, hence we will term it as inflation. So inflation is a persistent and a steady rise in price level. Then two concepts which many times students confuse. One is called as disinflation and other is called as deflation. Let us see how they are different from inflation. A slowing in the rate of increase in the general price level or a fall in the rate of inflation is known as disinflation. What are we saying? What is disinflation? That is, prices are rising, but that the rate of increase of prices is lesser. When the rate of increase of prices slows down, increase is there, but the rate at which it was increasing, that rate is falling. That situation is called as disinflation. That is called as disinflation. That is, inflation price rise is there, but the rate of increase of price rise is slowly slowing down. That is called as disinflation. Let us see this example. For example, we say inflation rate in first period was 3.2%. In the next period, inflation rate is 2.9%. That is, let us say in 1990, inflation rate was 3.2%, but in 1991, inflation rate was 2.9%. This means price rise is there, but the rate of increase of price rise has reduced. Earlier, the prices were increasing by 3.2%. Now the prices are rising by 2.9%. Such a situation where the inflation rate falls, that situation is called as disinflation. On the other hand, when we say deflation, we say deflation is the fall in the general price level. That instead of increase in the prices, we see fall in the prices. If the average price level earlier was 100, if earlier you could buy a basket of goods for 100 rupees, in this period you are buying the same basket of goods for 95 rupees, means instead of rise in the price, there has been a decline in the average price level. So a fall in the general price level is known as deflation. Now this example will make it clear for you. For example, an inflation rate of minus 0.5%. That is, instead of being a positive figure, we are seeing a fall in the average prices of goods and services. Then we say this is called as deflation. Learners, please keep this difference in mind. Disinflation is what? Disinflation is slowing in the rate of increase in the general price level, whereas deflation is the fall in the general price level. This activity, I am sure, will help you to differentiate between all the three concepts which we have done, that is inflation, disinflation and deflation. Please see this graph. This graph we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 years on the x-axis, and on the y-axis we are having the percentage change in price level, or in other words the inflation rate we are having on the y-axis. You see this green line. This green line is showing you the various inflation rates or the change in price level in all the 4 years. Now you have to think that whether in year 1, year 2, year 3 and year 4, is it a situation of inflation? Is it a situation of deflation? Or is it a situation of disinflation? That is, in year 1, are we seeing inflation? In year 2, are we seeing deflation? In year 3, are we seeing disinflation? What are we seeing in all the 4 time periods? You have to do this activity. I will again repeat for you, what is inflation? Inflation is the increase in the general average price level. That is inflation. Deflation is fall in the price levels. Negative inflation is deflation. Disinflation is slowing down of your inflation rate is disinflation. So if you see year 1, we are seeing this green line is moving upwards. Mean year 1 the price level is increasing. So this is a situation of what? This is a situation of inflation. In the second period as well, we see the inflation rate going up. Hence this is a situation of inflation. In the third year, we see inflation is there, rise in price is there, but this rise in price is slowing down. So this is disinflation. And in the fourth year, what do you see? Of course, you see disinflation, but you also see deflation because there is a negative rate of inflation. Your green line is going below the axis of x-axis. So that is deflation. So, I hope you have understood that what is inflation, what is disinflation, and what is deflation. After this, let us now understand what are the various types of inflation. Inflation on the basis of how much the price level is increasing can be divided into 3 types. What are they? First is called as moderate inflation. Then you have a galloping inflation. Then we have a hyperinflation. So whenever we discuss the types of inflation, we are saying that we can divide that economy is facing what type of inflation based on how much is the rise in the price level. 3 types of inflation we will be basing on this. One is moderate, second is galloping, third is hyper. Now let us understand all the 3 one by one. What is moderate inflation? Moderate inflation is also known as creeping inflation. It is the tendency of the general price level to increase at a moderate rate over a long period of time. That is, if prices are increasing in single digits over a long period of time, then such an inflation is called as moderate inflation. In moderate inflation, the citizens have full faith in the value of money because this is that inflation rate which is important to keep the economy growing. Because if there is no inflation, if there is no change in prices, everything will become stagnant. The producers will not have an urge to produce more. We have seen earlier that when price rises, your supply rises. So, profit will be stagnated, our wages will be stagnated. So, this moderate increase in price level, which is over a longer period of time, this is known as moderate inflation. And moderate inflation is also known as creeping inflation. This inflation is very predictable because the monetary authorities, based on their surveys, they can predict that what will be the future rate of inflation. And we have just said that this is generally a single digit annual rate of inflation. In India, when we say that moderate inflation in India, that rate of inflation is set by the Monetary Policy Committee under RBI. And this committee has set up an inflation target of 4%. That is, if the value of inflation in India over a longer period of time per annum is 4%, we will take it as moderate inflation, nothing to worry about. And this 4% is also with a band of plus minus 2%, which means that the rate of inflation can vary minus 2% of 4, that is 2%, plus 2% of 4, that is 6%. So the inflation rate can float within a band of 2% to 6%. If the inflation rate remains during that band, we say that it is a moderate inflation. Next, we talk about galloping inflation. Under galloping inflation, there is of course a steady rise in price, but this rise in price is fairly very high. Something which is eroding your purchasing power of money more than you are expecting. Of course, in moderate inflation also we see the value of money going down, but a very high rate of inflation, which is fairly high and steady, will erode your value of money more than expected. So a steady and fairly high rise in price level is known as galloping inflation. And this rate of inflation is generally in double digits and sometimes in triple digits also. Some rate of inflation, let us say 20%, 100% or 400% is called as a galloping inflation. Such type of inflation, the citizens do lose some confidence in the money currency which they are holding, because the value of money is depreciating faster. Value of money is falling faster than what is expected. In this form of inflation, as we said, that people lose confidence in money and would like to hold only a minimum amount of money to meet their day-to-day requirements. They would like to keep more money saved in their banks rather than keeping money in cash, because they feel that this money in cash, if it is not invested properly, it will lose its value greater than what it is required. Now you must be wondering whether this takes place or not. It is very much a practical situation. Even in 2021, as we talk, there are countries like Iran, which is experiencing an inflation rate of 48%. Lebanon is facing an inflation rate of 145.8%, and Sudan is facing an inflation rate of around 300%. So, of course, a galloping inflation is not at all desired by any monetary authority, because it is making people, losing confidence in your currency only. The next inflation is hyperinflation, which is something which is uncontrolled. When there is an increase in the general price level, that can only be described at more than 3 digits per annum, something which is going like 1000%. That situation is called as hyperinflation. This generally happens when there is a lot of political instability in that country, when people do not have at all confidence and the paper currency totally loses its value. This has happened at the time of World War in Germany. This has happened in Zimbabwe, where people used to take suitcases to buy a loaf of bread. And recently in Venezuela, as again in January 2021, Venezuela had an inflation rate of 2665%. That is, before you go take your money and go to buy something, that value of money has decreased by 2000 more than 2000%. So that is a high rate of inflation, hyperinflation, very high rate of inflation. Generally, it shows the economy is totally destabilized. So that is hyperinflation. Thankfully, India has never faced a situation of hyperinflation. Now let us just see the graph of inflation in India. This data has been taken from RBI. We have taken this data from January 2019 to January 2021. What is it showing you? This blue line which is going up and down, this is showing you the inflation rate monthly, every month, that how inflation has changed. So you see that rate of inflation has gone up. Then till January 20, you see after January 20 and February 20, the rate of inflation has fallen. So this is disinflation. Then again going up inflation, there's disinflation. This black line is basically a trend line showing that the rate of what should be the average rate of inflation. This is what this trend line shows. It is going up, means we are talking about a steady rise in price level in India. Maybe sometimes it's going beyond the band which the RBI has thought. For example, it is going up to 7%, 7.5% in January 20. Hence, you saw that it came down by action of the monetary authority in India. So this is disinflation and then inflation. This data you can also check from RBI website. You will find many such data and try to plot it on a graph and see that what type of inflation rate India has seen in past decade. Now moving further, we have seen that what is inflation. We have seen that inflation can be 1000%, it can be 100%, or in India we are talking about an inflation rate in a band of 4% plus minus 2.2%. When we try to measure inflation, how are we achieving this 4%, 2%, 6%, 1000%? Two commonly used measures of inflation are, one is called as Consumer Price Index, also known as CPI, and other is Wholesale Price Index, WPI, which is also called as Producer Price Index. An index, what is CPI? As the name indicates, this particular index is measuring the change in average price of consumer goods and services. That is, it is taking those baskets of goods and services which are being consumed by the household for its own consumption. So all those goods which the families are using or the households are using for their own consumption, that value is taken and that is measured, that how much the value of those goods and services have changed over a period of time. The index which is measuring the change in that average price of consumer goods and services, that index is called as Consumer Price Index. The index, on the other hand, which measures the changes in average prices of those goods which are used in the wholesale, which are used and traded in the wholesale market by the producers. As a raw material, they are buying certain goods and they are buying it in the wholesale market, and then we try to measure that what was the price of those goods today and what was the price of goods year back, and then we try to see the change in price. That is called as Wholesale Price Index. So the name itself is indicating, self-explanatory. Wholesale Price Index is that index which is measuring the change in average prices of goods and goods that are traded in the wholesale market. Now who goes in the wholesale markets? It is the producers. They are buying these goods in bulk so that they can take it as a raw material, process it and sell it as a finished good. So if the price of these goods are changing, then we say inflation is taking place. Now again, when we say Consumer Price Index, we have just said that it is used to measure it is an index which is being measuring what is the change in prices of the consumer goods. So once we get to calculate the Consumer Price Index, we can understand that how the cost of living of the households is changing. If CPI is very high, this means that the value of money has fallen and the living standards of the people will fall because they will be able to purchase less with the same amount of money that they had earlier. Then it also provides a basic parameter for economic planning and policy formulations by both the government and private organizations. For example, you must have heard of the term dearness allowance. So how much should be the dearness allowance is basically based on the value of Consumer Price Index because it is giving you inflation. So government and the private organizations would like to compensate their workers to offset the change in price by giving them that dearness allowance. So a higher Consumer Price Index would ultimately mean a greater dearness allowance to these people. So other also economic planning and policy is done using CPI. Then of course it is used to monitor price stability in the country because you can compare CPI of today with CPI of just a year back or 10 years back. So you come to know that how the prices have changed, whether it has been a volatility in the price, whether the prices have remained almost, they have persistently, steadily increased rather than a jerk price increase is there, which is rather harmful for the economy. So all this is seen in CPI. Now, who issues this CPI in India? These numbers are issued by Central Statistical Office, Government of India. Now, coming to the wholesale price index, this WPI estimates serve as an important determinant in formulation of trade, fiscal and other policies. Why? Because WPI is an indication of what is happening in the wholesale prices. What is happening to the product which is going to be sold in the market, what is happening to its price. As compared to the imported good, our domestic good expensive. If this would happen, it would immediately means more imports would be there. So any formulation of trade policy, similarly fiscal policy, whether we need to tax something more or tax something less, is based on WPI, because it is giving you an indication of what will be the future consumer price index. Then it is also used for the purpose of escalation clauses in the supply of raw material, machinery and construction works. When we have big tenders and contracts coming up, or you are going to supply something to a firm for a longer period of time, and you know that during this period of time inflation will take place, so you estimate using WPI that how much escalation I need to have in my price so that I do not lose because of price increase. Then in India, who issues WPI? WPI in India is published by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So what have we done in this lecture? This is just an introductory lecture of more things to come in this unit. Today we have understood that what is inflation. We have said it is an increase in the general price level. Then we have talked about concept of disinflation, which is reduced inflation rate. Whereas we have said deflation is fall in the general price level. That is, disinflation is maybe inflation rate was 3%. Now if the inflation rate comes to 2%, we say it is disinflation. Whereas if you see a rise in price of in negative minus something which was 100 rupees earlier, now it is 95, the general price level has fallen from the previous period. That is deflation. Then we say that inflation is characterized into moderate, galloping and hyperinflation. We have seen that what countries are facing right now, what type of inflation. Then we said that inflation is measured using index numbers. Two common indexes which we use are consumer price index, which measures the consumers, what the consumers are going to pay. If I am buying certain goods and services, what is the average consumer's cost of living compared to the inflation. Then wholesale price index is from the level of the wholesale trade, that is those goods and services are counted here which are used by the firms as a raw material. So friends, this is just the introduction of inflation. In the subsequent lecture, we will be talking about what causes this inflation, and then we will be talking about the effects of inflation. Till then, happy learning.